Hello guys, you're welcome back to my channel. In this particular video, I'll show you exactly how to draft this lovely kimono jacket with flat sleeve. So if you're interested, do well to stay with me to the end of the video. And please don't forget to check out my other videos. And really, if it's your first time in my channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notification bell for more updates. And really, I appreciate you all, my returning subscribers. You all are deeply appreciated. Please to keep, just don't forget to hit the like button also. Okay, thank you. Let's go straight into the video proper. So here is the measurement I'm going to be using to draft this jacket. This is a very simple and nice jacket, and this is my fabric. Very lovely. I really love this fabric, guys. So I folded it into two with a minimum, a good amount that I know will be okay for me. So I'm taking my shoulder line. First of all, I'm going to with my ruler, I'm going to get my top line first of all. So once I get my top line, from there I will start drafting. So my shoulder measurement, which is 16 divided by 2 plus 0.5, that is exactly what I've applied, as you can see. So from this particular point now, I'm going to come down by 9 inch. That is my bust measurement divided by 4. And I'm reapplying my shoulder measurement, that is 8.5 again. So now I will just connect it like this with my ruler. So the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to take my bust point. My bust point is 10 inch. And as you can see me apply, this is my 10 inch measurement. I'm equally going to extend this by armhole point. So this is my half length or my half cut, to get my waistline. So that is 16 inch. So majority of times for slim people, 16 inch works for them. But for someone with a bigger stomach, it might end up being more than that. So I've gotten my waistline, and I'm going to come down 8 inch. From this waistline, I'm going to come down 8 inch to get my hip measurement. So this particular hip line works very well for slim people also. And then for my neckline, I've gone 3.5 by 3.5. So that is for my width, and the depth I use 3.5 each. Okay, so I used my French curve to just curve it in. So guys, also one thing I'm going to do in this video is I'll show you exactly how to apply that to this, which is what I'm doing right now. Bust span divided by 2, I have 3.5, and I'm applying it all the way to my hip line, from my bust point to my hip line. So I'm actually going to show you how to apply this dart in case you want to apply that on yours, because I know there are those of us that really love applying darts. But I'm not actually going to be sewing the darts. Like, I'm not going to be using that for this one when I'm sewing, but I just want to show you how to apply yours. So I've come down by 1 inch. Okay, so I'm going to divide 1.5 by 2. That is the dart I'm going to be using for this. You can use 1 inch, that is half inch, but what I use is 1.5 by 2. So it depends on which one you want. So from the point of the hip line, I moved up 2 inch, as you can see. So I'm connecting it now. So this is just exactly how you can go ahead and apply a simple dart on any jacket or any kind of sewing you are sewing, and maybe you'll be finding it difficult on how to apply your dart. Okay, so the dart, like I said, you can use 1 inch, but just whatever measurement you want to use for the dart itself. It's not the most you use 1.5. So now I'm going for my jacket length. Okay, and that is 36 inch, as you can see. So I'm just going to go ahead and connect it. So this 36 inch is excluding the seam allowance. And then I've divided my bust measurement by 4. I've applied, and equally I'm supposed to apply the same thing on the armhole, but I'm going to add 0.5, that is 0.5. I'm going to be using 9.5 on the armhole because I want my armhole to be a bit loose. Okay, I don't want it to just be fitted. So my waist measurement divided by 4, I've applied it, and I'm going to take out this 1.5 dot on the side, which is there, as you can see, 1.5. So then the same thing on my hip, I've applied my hip measurement divided by 4. So then I'm going to bring down exactly what I have on my hip, which is 10 inch, and I'm going to add extra 2 inch, that is for the joining allowance. I'm also going to add the same 2 inch on the side again. I'm also going to add the same 2 inch. Okay, I'm also going to add the 2 inch, and I'll equally add the 2 inch again on the armhole. So that is just it. So this is my armhole. As you can see, it is not exactly 9 inches. It's supposed to be just exactly 9 inch, but then I just want to add a little 0.5 to it to ease it. Okay, for that is the 0.5 is for the easing of the armhole. Okay, don't forget that this kind of jacket, you deserve it to be free. You don't want it to be tight, and you know, so that is for the easing. So I will add extra 1 inch on this hem. That is, I will add extra 1 inch for the joining allowances. Okay, for the hem and the shoulder. So I'll be adding 1 inch. As you can see, my ruler is equivalent to 1 inch. So the next thing I will do now is to get my armhole curve. Okay, I'll first of all get my slant, which is by 1 inch in. So just shaping it, and I get the armhole curve. So this armhole curve, you can curve it in by extra by extra ½ inch or by 1 inch. Okay, I'm curving mine in by 1 inch. Okay, you can see exactly how I place the armhole. So curving it by 1 inch is okay. It gives me that is exactly my chest line point. So that is it. You can see our drafting. So guys, that is all for this lovely front side of this jacket. I'll just go ahead and cut it out, and I will use the front and draft the back. Okay, so this is the front, and then I folded fabric for the back, and as you can see clearly, I'll just go ahead and place the front on it so that I will remove the back neckline, because the back neckline is not going to be as deep as that of the front. Is going to be 1 inch depth and 3.5 wide. Okay, so guys, my fan is just trying to blow off my clothes. Okay, so this is it now. I'll just go ahead and pin it down. Okay, and I'm not pinning it, and then here is my 1 inch depth, and then the 3.5 wide. I'll just go ahead and connect it like this. As you can see, you can use your French curve or your curve rule if you can't connect it with your hand. Okay, so that's basically all for the back. Guys, don't forget that the back is on fold while the front is not on fold, so don't forget that part. Okay, so for now I've not opened the front side. So what you see me do is just exactly how to get a dart. Okay, so I'm incorporating this in this video because I know some of us are finding it difficult to apply that on freehand like this, you know. So I'm using my pin to pin out the exact points my dart hits. Okay, as you can see. So after cutting it out, I've pinned, and remember my pin is still on the point where my dart hits. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my pen and mark it out. You can use pen, you can use a marker, depending on the fabric you're using. If it's better to use pen or to use your chalk. Okay, so whichever one. Don't, just be careful not to stain the fabric depending on the kind of fabric you are sewing. Okay, so this is it. I'm marking it out, and after that I'm just going to go ahead and remove the pins. So when I remove the pins, I already have the dots. All I need to do is just to connect it. Okay, I'm going to be doing that to get the two sides. That is the two side that is the dart on the front. You know, that on two sides. Okay, the left and the right. So I'm just going to do it. So as you can see now, I've connected it. So this particular angle is for the back. This one goes direct to the back. Okay, so this one is to the back. So I'm going to repin again so that we get for the other side. Okay, so I believe you understand this method. So this is just how to trace out a dart easily on freehand. So that is for this angle and just that. So guys, this is my sleeve. As you can see now, I'm just going to get my top line. I'm going to get my top line, and then from the top line point, I'm going to get my 5.5 cap height. So my cap height is 5.5. If you want to know exactly how to get your accurate cap height, do well to check the description box below. You're going to see a link on how to draft a perfect sleeve, a standard sleeve. Okay, so there you're going to see exactly how I explained it. So I have my cap height, and what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take my 9.5. Don't forget that I used 9.5 to draft this. If you are following, you remember that part. So I'm applying the same 9.5 here. So now after that, I'm going to go ahead and get the midway of this 9.5. So once I get that, I will just apply. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and mark it now. And I will equally get the midway of this remaining half parts. Okay, so but this one is something I can easily gauge what the midway is. So I'll move up by 0.5, that is half inch. You can move up by 0.625 depending on how much cover you want it. I'm going to come down on this side by 0.3. okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and connect it. So depends on how curvy you want yours. Just that is if you are going for front and back. This one, everything is going to be the same. The front and back, they will just be the same. Okay, so now this is it. I'm going to go ahead and measure this with my tape rule to be sure that I have my 9.5 exact because of the curve. So now I'm just going to go ahead and mark out my 9.5 again. So you can see that with this there is a reduction in it. That is because of the curve. So I have my 9.5 and I've added my 2 inch for the joining allowance. Okay, so I'm going to come down for my sleeve length, which is 14 inch. But before that, I'm going to go ahead and measure my bicep. Okay, that is the thick part of your hand, that's heavy side. According to some people, they will say the Christian mother arm side. So you just come down from the cap height 2 inch, just 2 inch from the cap height. Okay, that is to get your bicep. Okay, so that is to get that thick side of the hand. So I'm going to apply the circumference divided by 2. That is what I've applied, but I'm not using the exact one. Okay, because this is a loose sleeve. Okay, so I added extra 1 inch to what I have. So I got I think 14 inch for my circumference and I added extra 1 inch. So that is what you see me apply there. So because this is a loose sleeve, please don't forget this sleeve is not tight, it's not fitted, it's loose. So I've added 2 inch joining allowance on each of it all. So and I've connected it down. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and get my 1 inch hemming allowance, hemming seam for the joining of the sleeve, and I'm good. This is all for the sleeve and I'll cut it out. So this is the sleeve after cutting out the first and second, and this is the outcome, guys. So I have I'll be adding extra 6 inch for the flared. Okay, so for the flared parts, I'll be adding extra 6 inch. So guys, I'm just going to go ahead and fold my fabric. Just follow exactly the way you see me folding it. So this is how I want to cut out my flare. I'm not folding too much fabric because the flare is not a long one. Okay, so after folding it perfectly, getting a good fold, I'm just going to go ahead and divide the circumference of the bicep. That is 14 divided by 4, and I have 3.5. I'm going to use that 3.5 to get an arc. Okay, like to get a curve. So this, I'm not going to be using the exact 3.5. I'm going to add extra 3.25, okay, like to make it like 3.625, you know, so in order to have a little excess for the allowance, okay. So I've marked it, and I'm just going to go ahead and make sure that it's very accurate, okay. So that is what I'm drafting, getting here now is 0.625, not exactly not exactly 3.5. I'm getting using 3.625 because of I need that extra allowance. Okay, so I need excess, in other words. So this is 7 inch. That is the height I'm using. I'm using 7 inch, but don't forget 6 inch is what I want to add. So that's the reason for the 7 inch is for the joining allowance. Okay, so half inch on the hem and then half inch for the joint for the upper side, okay. So guys, this is just the accurate way I got this sleeve, and most accurate ways to get a circle sleeve, mostly when you're drafting on it for 360 degree, okay. So you can use this, a very nice way. So guys, at this juncture, if you know you are enjoying this video so far, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notification bell for more updates from me, okay. Please and please and please, that particular subscribe button is very important. The notification is even more important, so that you always get updates and you check out my other videos, okay. I have other nice videos you will not want to miss out, so you can do well to also check them out after watching this one. So guys, this is it for my sleeve. Now I have a good circumference and a good measurement. So with this, I have enough, and also enough for my. So now I'm not going to forget to tell you that the first part I drafted was the first layer of this sleeve. Don't forget, one side is shorter than the other. So I've placed it in a way to draft the second layer, that is the longer part, okay. So just use this exact method and you will not go wrong, okay. So I'll just go ahead and cut it out. So as you can see, this is exactly the outcome after cutting it out, cutting everything out. So I have my front, my upper layer and lower layer, okay. So guys, after joining everything with the lining, I've called the lining, I've joined everything together. So I'm just going to go ahead and start sewing. So this is my fabric, the main body of the jacket, the back side and the front side, okay. So I've placed it right side facing right side, and I want to go ahead and stitch the shoulder. So please pay close attention to this part if you know you really don't understand how to stitch to shoulders, you know, with lining. So just make sure these two edges are touching each other, that is fabric to fabric and lining to lining, okay. Just make sure that they are touching perfectly, okay. So you don't want after sewing the lining will be showing on the front and, you know, something like that. So just make sure they are matching perfectly. So as you see me pin it down, after I pin it down, just go ahead and stitch it by half inch, okay. So guys, after that, the next thing I'm going to do is to sew the sides, okay. That is, I'm just showing you exactly what I'm going to be doing on the machine. So after I finish joining the shoulder, I will place the two sides together. I'm going to stitch it. Don't forget that on the sides I'm going to be taking in the darts. Remember, we didn't sew the darts, like I told you. I'm not going to sew the darts. So for this particular peplum or the flare, I've turned it, that is the upper layer and the lower layer. So I'm matching it together. I'm going to sew it round. That middle you see, I'm going to be sewing by half inch. I'm just going to sew it round. So guys, I finished stitching it. As you can see, after sewing, this is it. And then I've drawn a straight line where I'm going to cut it, okay, to divide it into two, that is to be able to join attach it to the sleeve. So while this is the bodies, after sewing the sides and all that. So I didn't add pockets on this particular jacket. I would have loved to, but then I forgot. Okay guys, so this is the outcome, how nice it's looking, okay, after joining it perfectly and all that. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now is to work on my sleeve. Okay, so I'm going to first of all go ahead slash this one into two. So why I have to use this method is because I don't want scattered work, I don't want confused work. So once the both of them are joined, it becomes very easy to know what you're doing. Okay, so as you can see, this is how it's going to look after joining. So this is my sleeve, and I'm just going to go ahead and place it on top of my sleeve and pin it together. Okay, so because that is what I'm going to be doing on the machine, I'm going to be sewing it by half inch. So please pay close attention. So you can see the essence, the reason for that extra little inch I added when I wanted to cut the peplum or the flare. When I wanted to cut it, that remained that little extra. Okay, so that it will have some excess for the allowance. Okay, so this is it, and I'm just going to go ahead and just follow exactly what you see me pinning. These pinnings is exactly what I'm going to be sewing. So after that, that is just it. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead now and join it in the machine, and my sleeve will be ready. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to attach it. So this is going to be how it will look after I finish joining it. And I'm just going to take my fabric and place it like so, as you see me do. Oh, sorry about this. I'm just going to replace this properly. Okay, so I'm just going to place it like this, making sure that the cap and the cap is, and the arm, like it's okay, the underarm, they are matching, they are fitted. So I've just stitched it round. So guys, this is all for this lovely tutorial. Our jacket is ready and everything is perfect. So if you know you have enjoyed this video so far, please and please, I beg you, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notification bell for more updates. Okay, under the notification button, just click on all so that you always get updates from me. And please don't forget to check out my other videos, and please, I really appreciate that. All right, thank you so much for watching, and see you in my next video. All right, bye.